An invasion is, you know, I think one of your more standard control maps where you're going to be a little bit more defensive favored. This B site for the offensive team is going to be the easier one to take, but over towards A is where it gets dicey. The reason being, you see where number 7 spawns? If you get, you know, spawned all the way towards that top left side of your minimap, it just takes a while to get over there.
Yeah, I mean, whereas if you're moving towards B, it's about a 15-foot hike. You're there pretty quickly. It's like I moved to Columbus. I'm now about that far from Joe's house, so I can bother you. I'm right down the street, buddy.
That is exactly right.
About to be the second tick through. Working on a flank, I believe, is going to be Simp. We'll try to see if he can open things up, turn some heads for a moment, and he has done just that. Just keep shooting Tex, and he does just that. Takes down Slasher. They get back onto the point. I think Snoopy's still there looming and waiting. Simp has done his best to distract as many players as he can as they're swarming around him, and they continue to be put into the dirt. That's going to be 4 in a row for him. Looking for number 5. It'll be Slasher up for his next at-bat. Knocked out of the fences again.
Yeah, looking for number 6 in the cruise. I mean, you have just wasted so much time, and while that happened, you had Cell making sure they didn't go over towards A, and BZ now working the middle of the map. And look, the way you have Slasher Capsule clearing out their palace, you're just worried someone is pinching again. 2 ticks done over towards B.
That's simple. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to turn to that. I mean,
No.
I saw it on the minimap. I mean, I saw it developing, but I did not think it was going to turn to wasting a minute of time, and he's right back to it. Nearly 3 in a row, 10 seconds left to go, and they've got to get on the point, but you've got a presence here. Draza and one angle, Celium looking down the lane. All players here ready to go. 2.4, it stopped on the clock. There's a BZ trying to cut them down. Will you come out of this if you're breach? 1 guy left. Sorry, I lied. 2 guys left. Close one comes in quickly, and they get back onto it.
Yeah, if you're new to the CDL, the way you control works, you have 2 zones, 30 lives on each side, and when you're the attacking team, as soon as you capture a point, you get a minute of extra time. So, you know, there's a mixture, a little bit of TDM in here. You're playing some of the objective.
It's like all of our game modes combined in a way.
Yeah, when you're on the objective, that clock pauses. So, a lot of ways to win. Well, multiple ways to win. And yes, you know, most of the time, a lot of the maps are defensive favored. But normally, as the year goes on, teams get better and better at winning offenses.
Yeah, typically that's how it's been, and sometimes we have a new map that comes into the rotation later. It's like a little bit of offensive heavy. It's like that wild card that sort of throws things for a mix midway through the year. But focus here to the final 20 seconds. Due to Sim's flank, he did not have a whole lot of time left to go here. Slasher tries to pounce. Draza says not this time. Not enough time to get towards it. Looking like that will be a defensive fold here for Atlanta Faze to start things off. But I'll say this, like, it was really that one play, the difference between that maybe being a really good offensive look from Boston. Well, it's tough because the first point's not that hard. We didn't really get to see them take many cracks at the difficult part of the offense.
Yeah, I mean, slaying-wise, even with that 6 spree, I think it was a 4 or 5 kill difference for Atlanta Faze. I mean, Simp has just been map 1. He was making so many individual plays.
Search didn't really have his moments on that map.
Yeah, just round 10, right? Yeah. He clutched to make sure they got to a round 11. But it's been...
I haven't watched their Search. I've just watched their respawns. That's where he's been a freak. So I imagine Search, they'll be good, but something seems to be working for him with this particular title.
Yeah, you can already see there's one player over towards B. Maybe the rest towards, you know, towards Cafe. Thinking about going over towards the A zone. Throwing a different look off that first break. But with that one-on-one win for Capsule. Maybe now going to send someone over towards B again. And we've seen this in the past where you put someone on the easier zone, just pause the clock, the other 3 go and work A, and that's exactly what's going to happen here.
That's usually when it's like a defensive heavier map. Like, if you can get that harder point first, you win. Typically, right? Like, if you can get that harder point, you set yourself up maybe for a W. Not every time, but if you can do it, props to you. They got a chance to do it here. Second bit of progress through. That'll be the clearance. So you get 1 ticket B, 2 through on A. So what are you thinking here now of your phase? You got a minute left to go. Is it a bit of a gamble to try and finish A?
I mean...
Finish it first, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a bit now, just due to the time. You already have 3 ticks. That's how much Boston got in round number 1. So maybe you just get done with B, use that extra time to work the final tick. But now they're kind of put into a deep trap. You see Slasher's position all the way back bridge. He's just watching these crosses through this middle courtyard over towards A Street. You already have Snoopy inside ice cream. At least that's what I called it. How many years ago was it now? 13 or something?
You were back in college just being a demon, dude.
I was in high school. Yeah, no, I'm a 30-year-old dad now, but back then I was shooting straight, let me tell you.
15 to go now. On to the point. Behind a flurry of kills there for Atlanta Faze. They're able to get out of the trap and keep everybody up. Assuming they can get B here, they're gonna have what? I mean, similar time to what Breach had. You're gonna have about a minute to go, but you only need one tick. So like one break, you're probably good. Can you get that one break? Because I think already having a 2-round advantage, or sorry, a 2-tick advantage is great, but if you can get the round, I mean, you likely guarantee the map if they can get this done.
You know, I'll say what's a little bit different about the A zone is there is some room to finesse, right? A lot of the tough points in control.
Oh, like once you get in there, yeah,
right. You can't. It's tough to get naded. You play your life a little bit.
Well, it's just can you get in there?
Yeah, it's just that's the question.
Yeah.
Can you cross to it? As we just saw, Celium tries. He does get taken down. Abizi now on the pinch, but it looks like they are going to pick it up.
They sure do. And he's like, okay, I'll try again later.
Just gonna wait for his teammates. 30 seconds left. Dodging nades, dodging doors.
Dodgeball. Hey, the reposition works out. Snoopy opts to get aggressive. They'll make him pay. Now you've got numbers towards the point. They're all going to be spawning out. Who's going to pick that up? It's going to be Simp to pick it up. He's going to be in a big position. Can Simp slow them down as they try to get through? The answer is going to be no. You get here to stop the clock for a moment, but not for long. Abizi finally gets shut down. Celium's still here finessing, and this is what you were talking about. There are spots to finesse around this point. He's just getting tagged up, tries to chow out. Looks like they are going to hold.
And that is all Slasher to me. There was a 3-on-2. You got a 2-player hit at the front of that point, and Slasher takes them both down. Celium goes for that trade. You know, you saw sort of Abizi watching that cross, trying to help out Cell. They deal with him, but Slasher goes massive, and then they're right at the end with Cell finessing. He was able to pick up that cross. So huge end of the round plays by the vet.
Yeah, it's just tough. Like, I mean, you got what? You got 3 down, but you just don't spawn out very far either if you're the defense. Like, and Simp had a chance, I think, on the cross to maybe cut them off. If he gets 1 or 2, it goes differently, but he's on 20 as well, though, so he's been doing his thing. Well, we heard the listen in early on with Faze in the hard point. It's Breach that are up against it. They're currently 0-2 in the series, trying to battle back here in the control. To listen in we go with Boston Breach.
He's low before.
One to cap.
Hey, watch out. He killed me, bro. He shot it. He's on the right.
I got him. Push shot. Top, before.
Watch your.
And one's like far short. I need to shoot. Yo, coach DVD on the pillars. I'm looking back DVD. I'm looking back DVD. Back left. I have a trophy on you. Oh, he's dark now. Back alley inside blue. I can see push. He's back DVD. Sit down. Top P4 and back DVD, guys.
Pitchy dark, I think. Dark. I'm gonna be down tank.
How much have I need help?
Top P4. Keep on
dark.
Sunday dark. I didn't hit him.
Don't be down tank.
Yo, top P4. Any close on the left. Can't see him. Top P4. Watch out P4. Josh.
I think it was DVD's a busy 1 shot done.
Nice. I'll give him before weak, bro. He's on me. Yeah. I don't see him left on you.
It's top P4 still. Top P4. Two. I got 1. No, there's you.
No. I have back alley.
Try to save the drugs there now. They can flank dark.
Fire truck.
Nice. One on the flank, bro. I'm hiding in rugs, guys. I'm hiding in rugs.
Yo, before me. I'm behind him. Before me. Watch out.
Back ass really weak.
Alright, I'm hiding in rugs.
He's one shot Eric on you. I don't see him. Going back alley or something. I don't know.
I don't see anything rugs, but
Jossie gas.
He was back on me.
Fire truck.
One team there's fine. He was before.
Fire truck busy. Shout out Caffley.
Alright, there's 2 other players.
I'm playing busy. I'm playing Jaws. Fire truck again.
Sims deep right on spawn.
Fire truck busy 1 shot. Really big fire truck.
I'm blocking Gatcher.
Okay, just stay up. Play kills. One push out the right here.
Simp is right.
Sells out.
Inner spawn. 1 shot.
Where's he at?
Top American. Might have jumped down. I'm not sure.
I spawned deep. Some bridge.
Okay. He might not know.
I did not.
Where's he?
He was American. I think he's like on the sandbag or something.
He was like trying to find me.
He's on me close. Fuck. He's close on the wall. He's front wall.
Front wall and dumpster corner.
I'm there, sponsor.
Oh, he's on me. Fire truck.
There's a trophy on self dumpster.
I killed him.
Well, it looked like they were in a pretty good spot, and then they started dealing with Simp kind of spawn killing them a bit towards their base, and that kind of, I don't know, broke the flow for a bit, but now we're on to the point. Let's see what they can do with it.
I mean, Capsule gets a bridge spawn and then finds 2. You do not see that spawn very often, if at all. But, you know, maybe with Simp finessing his life, I think someone was with him over towards that P2 area, just gives them a chance. And now you have, I mean, full control if you are Boston. Selling the last player alive. Capsule not able to take him down, but Snoopy is there for the trade. And now Snoopy just has to play his life. His teammates are watching the cross. So, you know, you hear a lot on Twitter about the crosses, and this is an example of that. Abizi trying to get there, but the name connects. The team shot is in, and now maybe an offensive round win for Boston.
You got one across. You got two across. Both get shut down. Celian drops. Draza drops. A big, massive round victory there for Boston. But I know you were a little frustrated with some of the spawns.
Well, I mean, you know, with that spawn, you could just see Simp had no idea when he was playing his life. Just really what they wanted. You have Simp sort of, you know, they call it top American, top palace. That top castle balcony, when you spawn all the way sort of top left of that mini map, you have a decision. Do you just leave him, go up the B street, but you're taking so much time? Or do you back up, try to play for it and clear him, which is not easy to do. So that just puts the offensive team in a tough spot. But yeah, Capsule spawning out just gives him the angle, gives them that A street.
I was wondering if it's like the direction Simp was looking or like what?
Yeah, I mean, you saw him sort of finessing his
yeah, just like he kind of had a line of sight on that spawn. Like,
sometimes it happens.
Yeah. Frieza, little win there. Behind the Renetti. Now let's clear the bit of time off this or just keep surging forward as Habizi's waiting there at the tank.
Faze with a very similar kind of break. They sent like 2 or 3 over towards A, and you have one player at A just playing their life. That's Draza. He gets to the point inside a bus stop. Already one tick done at A. You have one player at B. That's going to be Sim watching Dark, able to win the one-on-one. So Boston just needs to pick a point here. Where do we want to reset? They're able to get them off A, so now they just have to regroup, go for map control.
Yeah, sometimes we've seen teams just try to defend both points and you end up losing both because you're just spread a little thin. You know how crazy the comms get in those moments. Like, they're insane when you're in like 2 little 2v2s where you're trying to comm to each other and everyone's yelling. Sometimes you just gotta pick a point, but B about to be done. Get wrapped here in a second. As Draza will get the rest of the time. Now, I mean, it's kind of similar to what we saw for Breach. You got a good amount of time this time to work with. 2 minutes to go. How do you develop this push? Can you push it to around 5?
Well, they take down Slasher. He was playing that A street. That's going to allow them to push on up, and now you're just waiting for the pinch. Abizi, it's taken down. Now it is Simp's turn. You have 2 players on it. Now they have to deal with him. Just wasting their time looking at that cross. Snoopy going off this map, though. Showing some individual prowess on the map, and with those trades, they're able to save A.
I mean, the theme of this series, though, has sort of been like breaching control late. Faze bring it back and win the map. You're up 2-1. You got a chance to close it. This is where Breach need to show they can close.
Yeah, you're down 5 lives. You take your time if you are Faze. Still 90 seconds in the round. You save so much of the clock just due to that opening break. Now they're winning those ones, and they might just play a little TDM here. Well, now they're going to have to figure out something else, because that's going to be all 4 dead for Atlanta Faze.
Well, you think usually when you play a little TDM, it makes the kills easier, right? Because you're not worried about the objective. Instead, they all just lost their gunfights and get shut down. So, need to come alive if you're a Boston Breach, show you can close. That's a good sequence. You bring it back, you bring the lives back in a massive fashion. Now just trailing by 2. You reset the entire push now for Atlanta Faze, and Snoopy continues to be hot. 28 and 15, 5 in a row for him. The young gun has been something special. You reset the push again.
You can see the way that Boston plays this, right? A little bit differently, and maybe they play this bridge area so those spawns don't happen that we saw in the previous round with Capsule. You block the spawn, you still force him to hunt you down, just waste so much time. 90 seconds was on the clock, and now we're down to 25. This 9 versus 8, make it 7v8, and Faze, they gotta go.
The first person up is gonna be Simp. Just feeling the pressure to get moving, but yeah, you're gonna have to win fights and get through. 1 gunfight win, able to do it. There's 2. Simp and Abizi find the openers, but you've traded efficiently enough if you are Breach. 7 now to go. Time dwindling. The gunfight's now onto the point. Trying to soar in. Can't find the opening. Last one there will be Celium, and he will drop. Breach, stay alive in the series. And they needed that moment. They had a couple maps in their hands. They let slip away. This time they close it out. And they'll take us to another hard point.